everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to Ring of Honor Television. Now, unfortunately for you guys that are enjoying Ring of Honor, this is going to be our last episode. Basically, we're now going to merge Ring of Honor in with Global Force Wrestling. This is just to make it a bit easier for me to do the recording. At the moment, it's just a bit too much for me to be able to do all the episodes in a week. So, by merging these two brands together, that's going to get us down to 5 brands. Then when we hit Clash of the Champions in a few weeks' time, Retro Roster will disappear as well. That should leave us with 4 brands, then all of the 4 brands will have a pay-per-view every single month, which should make it a lot easier in the universe, and a lot better as well, be able to have feuds constantly and things like that, so hopefully it's going to make the quality a lot better. But this is our last episode, so let's have a look at the card. We're going to carry on with our top prospect tournament. Basically, we've got our last 2 first-round matches this evening. Then after these last 2 first-round matches, the rest of the competition will take place on Global Force Wrestling. The only difference will be, instead of finishing the tournament off with a championship, basically the winner of the top prospect tournament will be named the top prospect and will get a shot at the Global Force Wrestling Next Gen Championship. So the first of our first round matches this evening is going to be Jack Evans taking on Johnny Gargano, and then the second is going to be the return of Solomon Crow to the indie scene as he takes on Nick Jackson. Of course, Solomon Crow recently fired from NXT after losing the match against Tyler Breeze at NXT TakeOver Arrival a few weeks ago. So he makes his return to the indie scene here this evening. We're also going to see ACH versus Michael Bennett. We're going to see Rhino versus Warbeard Hanson. And we've got 2 guys here that are currently over doing the G1 Climax Festival. That's Davey Richards and AJ Styles. They've both managed to make it here this evening to compete here. Well, obviously Dave Richards and Eddie Edwards are going to compete against Bullet Club's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. AJ Styles will be at ringside. And then our main event is going to be Roderick Strong taking on Jay Briscoe. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first match of this last episode of Ring of Honor. And like I said, that last match, the first match here this evening is going to be Jack Evans taking on Johnny Gargano. And here we go. Who will go on to the second round of our top prospect tournament? And this is a new Johnny Gargano we got as well recently. I think he's we first time he used this Johnny Gargano was at the NXT TakeOver Arrival pre-show, and this I really like this one. It was a new one off of the Community Creations. I think there's a guy called Lil Dicky. I think his name is something on them sort of lines. But he's created some fantastic calls as well. We've got his Okada and his Johnny Gargano, and so yeah, they're quite good, these ones. I like a few of them. And I have already mentioned that we are going to have a little bit of a shake-up of the rosters this weekend, I think, just to bring a few new people in. So next week you might see a few new people debut, and especially in Global Force Wrestling. Like I said, we're going to merge Ring of Honor and Global Force in together. Some people might disappear, unfortunately, but it also frees up the space to bring some new people in as well, which has been pretty good. I've seen some really good calls of people that I haven't had yet, so have a look at them. Great. Sunset flip powerbomb there by Jack Evans. And I seem to develop the hiccups. I seem to do this when I start recording videos. Well, Jack Evans just stamping the face of Johnny Gargano into the mat there. And of course, Jack Evans is currently one half of the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Sky Blondes, alongside Angelico. And Angelico was in this competition. Did he get through? That's the question. No, he lost to Kenny King a couple of weeks ago. Jack Evans now climbing up to the top. Big diving elbow to the back of Johnny Gargano. And I should imagine sooner or later Johnny Gargano will get signed up for WWE. Of course, he has worked the last few NXT tapings, so it just makes sense that he will be signed up eventually. As to Tommaso Ciampa as well. So at the moment, Gargano is going to be part of our NXT roster as well as Global Force Wrestling for now as well, until something official's been done. When it's officially been all signed, sealed and delivered, then of course Gargano and Ciampa will move permanently to NXT. It's the same sort of thing as well with James Storm and potentially with Austin Aries as well, depending on see what happens there. Austin Aries was backstage at the last NXT tapings, and they must be doing some NXT tapings pretty soon actually. They normally do some taping straight after a takeover. I think they taped 1 episode of NXT, so maybe they're going to do some tapings this coming week, maybe. Gargano launching Jack Evans over the top of his shoulders, and now just an elbow drop to the top of the head. Jack Evans back up to his feet. A big boot to the stomach of Gargano. Hops on. And another sunset flip bomb. Great move there by Jack Evans. And Evans is in firm control of this match. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. And Johnny Gargano does kick out. So who is going to get the opportunity at the Next Gen Championship? We've still got about 8 guys left in this competition now. So it's still pretty strong competition. Jack Evans with a pin off that corkscrew moonsault. 1, 2. Again, only a 2 count. And of course, our current Next Gen champion is Pentagon Jr. Probably going to defend that belt though on Sunday at the Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax pay-per-view. Still, that's a really good competition. That one, you should really check it out if you've not already. Of course, it is going on in Global Force Wrestling, which all these Ring of Honor guys are going to be permanently on next week as well. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. There is a link in the description to that playlist. As Gargano in with a pin. 1, 2. And it's only a 2 count. Jack Evans manages to kick out. And of course, remember, in our next match, we're going to see the return of Solomon Crow in the indie scene. And I say Solomon Crow, let's just, from now on, let's refer to him back as Sami Calliahan, because that's who he is. That's who we know him as. And Jack Evans slides outside the ring. He's eyeing Johnny Gargano up. Tornado DDT through the turnbuckle. And I tell you what, that move's been used a lot this week. If you saw my episode of NXT yesterday, we saw this move used in 2 successive matches. I think once by Sasha Banks and once by Rich Swann, I believe. Big right hand by Jack Evans there on Gargano. Now spins him round that fisherman style neckbreaker. Referee up to a 4 count. Jack Evans slides back into the ring. He's going to try and win this one by count out here by the looks of it. Referee's up to a 7 and Gargano's starting to stir on the outside. Gargano is back to his feet and Jack Evans, oh, what a move that was. Springboard corkscrew splash to the outside, taking Gargano down again. I've not seen that move before, but I really like that. And of course, our very next Global Force Wrestling pay-per-view, which is going to take place in 4 weeks' time, is going to be a very Mexican-based pay-per-view. So we're going to see the likes of Jack Evans and Angelico maybe as a tag team, a bit more of those. To be a 3-day pay-per-view, I think, the next one. We'll probably have one show in the CMLL arena, one show in the Lucha Underground arena, and then probably one main show in the AAA arena to finish things off. Gargano now locking in the Gargano escape. Is this going to be enough? Jack Evans trying to slide his way along, and Gargano releases the hold, thinks he's done enough damage here. And as he's taunting the crowd, Jack Evans catches him into that tilt-a-whirl DDT. Big clubbing blow across the back of Gargano. Gargano back up to his feet. And again, Jack Evans spins him around into that neckbreaker. Evans bringing him back up to his feet. Oh, great move. That's very Jack Evans, that was. In for the pin he goes. This could be all. 1, 2. And it is. Jack Evans goes through to the second round of this Top Prospect tournament. He's going to face the winner of Sami Calliahan and Nick Jackson coming up later on this evening. But what a great win this was for Jack Evans. We did say he dominated the majority of the match. And yeah, he finally proved it with that great sort of breakdancing style move to get into the head scissors and then just slamming the head of Johnny Gargano into the mat. There's Gargano with the razor's edge onto the top rope. You saw Jack Evans' head clip that top rope and would have jarred his neck as well. Very violent move. Gargano went in for the pin. That was only enough for a 2 count though. See Gargano locking in the Gargano escape on Jack Evans as well, but Evans was able to get out of that. There's that spinning fisherman's neck breaker, and then here you see Jack Evans using his breakdancing style to hook in the head scissors, then slam Johnny Gargano's head straight into the mat, and Jack Evans is victorious. So as I said, Jack Evans is going through to round number 2 of this Top Prospect tournament. Of course, the finale is going to be our big next pay-per-view, that big Japanese pay-per-view, Mexican pay-per-view should I say. And who knows, maybe it could be Jack Evans that goes on to win it. And our next match here this evening is going to be Nick Jackson taking on Solomon Crow / Sami Calliahan in the Top Prospect tournament. And here we go, who is going to join Jack Evans in the second round of this Top Prospect tournament? Of course, Sami Calliahan making his return to the indie scene. And of course, Nick Jackson, one of the ever-presents from the indie scene. Don't see him going to WWE for a very, very long time, if ever. Himself and his brother Matt Jackson seem pretty happy with their situation at the moment. Traveling the world. Part of Ring of Honor, part of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, part of New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. It can't get much better really for the Young Bucks. It makes you think, why would they bother against WWE? They're earning a nice little living between them. They're doing what they love to do, and they're not being toned down, which is the sort of thing that the problem you have when you go to WWE. And I know a lot of people might be quite critical of that comment, but if you look back at some of these people when they're on the indie scene, and you look at how when they get themselves into WWE, their characters are toned down, their movesets are toned down. You just got to look at Daniel Bryan. I don't know what happened to Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan had stayed wrestling the way that he did originally, I think he would have been absolutely fine. Nick Jackson, package power driver. Wow, that was early. But doesn't keep Sami Calliahan down. And that's just case in point, that package power driver there by Nick Jackson. That's the sort of move that Kevin Owens used to use as his finisher maneuver on the indie scene, but now in WWE that move is seen as too dangerous. He's been using that now for about 10 years. He's never injured a single person yet. WWE see that move as too dangerous, therefore he's had to be toned down and stopped to use that. And that's a little bit shame. Yeah, like I was saying, if Daniel Bryan had kept to the style he had beforehand, where he was using a lot of submission holds and things like that, he probably would have been fine, but he went to this very fast-paced, throwing your body on the line sort of style, and then he got injured. If he'd stuck to his sort of submission style, technical style, it may probably been a little bit more boring for some of the more, I don't know how to describe them. The wrestling fans that are not overly serious about it, the ones that don't appreciate good sort of technical wrestling and things like that, the sort of casual viewers will not be entertained by that sort of thing. So that's probably why they stopped him doing it. Nick Jackson is completely dominating Sami Calliahan here. And Calliahan nearly got embarrassed here on his return to the indie scene. Sami Calliahan now taking Nick Jackson up. Sit out powerbomb. Calliahan rolling Nick Jackson over, going in for the pin. 1, 2, and no, Nick Jackson kicks out on the verge of a 3 count. Now Calliahan with a big elbows to the chest of Nick Jackson. And a big splash as well. And this has been a great match, this, between these two. Calliahan in with a pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. The Calliahan Death Machine here looking for the victory over Nick Jackson on his return to the indie scene. And I do have a good idea for a tag team for Sami Calliahan as well, which hopefully we will see very, very soon. It involves another one of Die Hard Detroit's fantastic cause. And it's amazing because I was always a really massive fan of Sami Calliahan. I was disappointed. I was happy when he went to NXT, but I was disappointed that he left the indie scene. But then somebody else came along that, for me, just sort of filled the gap that Sami Calliahan had left. And that man's name is Trevor Lee. For me, I don't know what it is. I think his style, his mannerisms, everything is very, very similar to Sami Calliahan. And for me, he really filled that gap. And Trevor Lee is someone for me that's going to have a massive, massive career. He is only early 20s, I think. He's been wrestling for quite a long time. Tombstone power driver there by Nick Jackson. In for the pin, but... 1, 2... Okay. Well, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, this was a Falls Count Anywhere match. I must have buggered up and put that on by mistake. But yeah, I didn't realise I booked that. But either way, Nick Jackson is victorious here. I don't know why I booked this as a full Scandinavian match, but I did. I must have just changed the participants on a match that was already due to be going on tonight. Well, either way, it's pulled out a pretty good match. Sami Calliahan has been knocked out, makes a loss on his first match back here on the indie scene. Of course, we'll be seeing Sami Calliahan a lot more in the year to come in Global Force Wrestling. He will be one of the ever-presents, like I said, one of my favourite wrestlers, so we will definitely be keeping a hold of him. The only thing I would like to try and do is maybe find a slightly better core. I haven't a look today, but this is the best one out there at the moment. And it was a great win here for Nick Jackson, really. Of course, Matt Jackson did not have enough behind him to get through to the second round, but Nick Jackson does. Who did Matt Jackson lose to now? Matt Jackson lost to Killshot. Good old Killshot. And here it is on the outside, the Indie Taker. That finished off Solomon Crow, and Nick Jackson goes through to round number 2. So like I said, round number 2 will take place over on Global Force Wrestling. Like I said, Ring of Honor is going to be null and void as of this evening. We might still use the arena for some pay-per-views or stuff like that. And especially for random matches as well. I need to get back on the random matches, and I probably will over the Christmas period when I've got a bit more time to get some more recorded. But like I said, that's the reason why I'm dropping a couple of rosters, just to give me more time to record more things like random matches. And also some other bits and bobs that I want to try and do as well, such as some more Fallout 4 and Minecraft, and just some random bits, just so I don't get a bit overburned out by doing the same thing over and over again. So our next match here this evening is going to be ACH taking on the Kingdom's Mike Bennett. And here we go. Now we've got a bit of a bit more of an interesting episode of Ring of Honor here for you, because a lot of our top Ring of Honor guys are currently over in the G1 Climax Festival. Like I said, Davey Richards and AJ Styles did make it back here this evening. Davey Richards to team up alongside Eddie Edwards to take on Bullet Club. So basically what we've done with this Bullet Club versus the American Wolves match, it's going to be an interesting one. Basically, if Bullet Club defeat the American Wolves, then they will get a Tag Team Championship match in the near future. We are going to try and merge in the Ring of Honor and the Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Championships, probably, maybe even this weekend is a possibility. So maybe we can make tonight's match for the Tag Team Championship. It's a possibility, you know. Of course, they would have to defend the belts against Beer Money in a champion versus champion match on Sunday. You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that. That match now later on this evening, Bullet Club versus the American Wolves, is for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. The winners of that match will have to go on in a champion versus championship match this Sunday at Global Force Wrestling to combine the Ring of Honor and Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Championships. So that is going to be pretty damn good. Looking forward to that now. Plus it gives us a nice Tag Team Championship match, a nice big match to finish off our Universe mode on. Great backdrop there by ACH, and ACH doing pretty well here. Crossroads there by ACH on Mike Bennett. So I'm a little bit worried my computer seems to have got a bit frozen. I'm just making sure that I am actually still recording correctly. Yeah, seems to be working okay. Seems to be working okay, so we should be okay. Big forearm there by Mike Bennett now. Armbar here on ACH. I think both these guys will be pretty much secure in their positions in this roster as well. Like I said, we are going to have a little bit of a mix-up this weekend just to change things around a little bit, mainly just to try and bring some new people in. But I think Bennett, of course, will be fine alongside Matt Taven and Adam Cole as part of Kingdom. ACH, again, I think will be absolutely fine. not quite sure who's going to make the disappearing acts as yet. Of course, there's going to be even more sooner or later when we do bring in the women's division into Global Force Wrestling. Of course, we are losing the retro roster pretty soon as well, so that's going to free up quite a few created spaces, probably about 7 or 8. So that'll be enough to bring in a full women's division onto Global Force Wrestling. There's a very angry old man in the front row. There's a complete shot there by ACH. In for the pin he goes on Mike Bennett. 1, 2, and no, Mike Bennett kicks out on the brink of 3. ACH can't believe it. Both guys back up now. ACH has the leg hooked and the arm. Exploder suplex slam as well. You gonna go for a pin here? No, just slamming the arm of Mike Bennett into the mat. Bringing Bennett back up to his feet now. Sends him off into that far corner. And we're going to see it again, aren't we? We're going to see it again. The game is loving these DDTs through the bottom rope. Great move there by ACH. Brings Bennett back up to his feet, and the crowd are right. This is pretty damn awesome. Bennett now just slamming ACH into the ring steps. And now into the apron as well. There's Bennett. Although he took that big move, that big tornado DDT, seems to be in a better position at the moment. Jawbreaker by Bennett on ACH. Now Bennett taking ACH up onto his shoulders. Spins around onto his back. Package stunner there on ACH. Bennett with a pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. ACH with a couple of big forearms. Spins Mike Bennett round. Reverse Hurricanrana. Rolls Bennett over. ACH is going up top. Is he going to look for a big 450 maybe? It's a frog splash, and look at that rotation mid-air as well. 1, 2, and there you go, 3. ACH picks up a massive victory here over Mike Bennett with a big frog splash. Clever, clever move that by ACH. I don't know how he managed to get that full rotation in there as well. Of course, a move that really makes everybody think of the late great Eddie Guerrero as well, that frog splash. Whenever anybody hits that frog splash, normally it always gets an Eddie chant. I think, without giving away too many spoilers, Rey Mysterio Jr. does make his debut in Lucha Underground in Season 2. And in his debut, he does use a frog splash, and the entire arena just erupts in Eddie Guerrero chants. Can't wait to see that then. That's not going to be... It's not going to be on TV now for another month, sorry. Season 3 will be on another year, hopefully. Another month, that'll be. See ACH going up top here towards the end of the match. And there's that frog splash, that big rotation. And the referee counts it down for a 1, a 2, and a 3 count. So ACH victorious here. A big win this over Mike Bennett actually for ACH. Let's see if he can build upon this anymore over in Global Force Wrestling. And our next match here this evening is going to be almost like a clash of the titans as Rhino takes on Warbeard Hanson. And here we go. Now I've just had a little thing pop up on my Twitter from Hanson, and I'll tell you what, this Hanson does actually look pretty good. A picture just popped up for him. And yeah, it does actually look really, really good. The attire is quite good. The face is quite good. The beard, I do like the beard, but I think on this game, beards are not as detailed as they could be. But there you go. Rhino At the moment, we're feuding him over in the Attitude Era. I can't remember who that's with actually now. I've got a feeling it could be the one and only Kevin Nash, I believe. I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it's Kevin Nash we're feuding Rhino with. So we'll see a bit more of him tomorrow night. But of course, Rhino was also involved in Ring of Honor. As we part of a stable, I thought, something on them sort of lines. Not quite sure anymore. Hanson now taking Rhino up and slams him down. And I think we'll see a bit more of Hanson and Raymond Rowe pretty soon as well. We've not seen a lot of them as of yet. So, yeah, I'm thinking we can give them a decent sort of tag team run maybe in Global Force Wrestling. Give them a chance at the championships. It's probably we've got so many tag teams over there. It's going to be difficult for everyone to get on TV. That's the best thing about having not just the tag team championships, but the junior heavyweight tag team championships as well. Gives some of the other teams a chance to be involved in some stuff. Rhino now taking Hanson up, middle of the ring, big jackknife powerbomb. Is that a message there sent to Kevin Nash? Rhino now pulling Hanson into the middle of the ring and just dropping a fist right into his face. Hanson, great Russian leg sweep there, almost like a, it's not a Russian leg sweep, it's more of a stroke, isn't it, bringing them forwards like that. Hanson taking Rhino up and then just dropping him down. And Hanson looks to go up top. The big man looking to dive. Big moonsault by Hanson. In for the pin he goes. Could this be all on Rhino? 1, 2. Only a 2 count. And Hanson really does look like the way you'd expect a wrestler to look. He's got such a good image about him. He takes Rhino up, swings around and drops him onto a knee in that gut buster. Now Hanson looking to line Rhino up. There's a spinning heel kick by Hanson. In for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Hanson picks up the victory over Rhino. That's not going to do Rhino very many favours in his feud that is currently going on. That's going to drop his momentum right down. But Hanson looked good for that victory the whole way through. Look at that moonsault. That was only enough for a 2 count though, but there's the spinning heel kick. That's what finished Rhino off. And there you go. Hanson picks up the big victory. And that is a big victory for Hanson, because that's probably going to help him in the rankings here in, well, I say Ring of Honor, but it's going to be Global Force Wrestling as of next week. And here is our next match here this evening. It's going to be the American Wolves defending their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against Bullet Club's Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows, and AJ Styles will be at ringside. Well, we're back. Wow, that is what you call a loading screen. You guys won't see that because obviously I'll cut it out, but that must have lasted like 6 or 7 minutes. That was long, that was. And here come your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the American Wolves. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. The loading screen seems to take a lot longer in the universe mode than what they do in normal episodes, normal matches or in exhibition mode. Not quite sure why, but like I said, it took about 2 minutes or so before the game actually even loaded up the matchup screen. Then there was another like 5-minute gap in between the matchup screen and actually coming into this match. Quite sure why it does take so long, but it's one of the reasons why I don't do entrances normally, because it would mean that my videos would take a hell of a lot longer to record. So as I said, this was a last minute change to become a a Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match. And here come Bullet Club. You see Doc Gallows at the front there. You've got Machine Gun Karl Anderson at the back. And then you've got the global champion AJ Styles as well. I'm not quite sure why this entrance is working like this, because I have changed it so AJ Styles is the man at the front, but evidently it's decided against that, and Doc Gallows is going to be the leader of this video this evening. And a great chance for Bullet Club to pick up the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. And like I said, on Sunday we are going to merge the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships in with the Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Championships. So this is a great chance for Bullet Club to pick up these Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships to become the Unified Tag Team Champions by the end of this weekend. Of course, I think we're probably going to end up merging all of the championships in together. The Ring of Honor Television Championship and the Global Championship, Ring of Honor Championship, I think can probably wait a little bit. But I want to try and get the Tag Team Championships done as soon as possible, because we already have 2 tag team belts in Ring of Honor. So it seems, sorry, they already have 2 tag team belts in Global Force Wrestling, so it seems a bit pointless to have another one in there as well. The referee holds the belts up, and this is what it's all for. And match straight underway, and Doc Gallows runs across and just spinning neckbreaker on Eddie Edwards. And this is going to be interesting now. So what sort of influence is AJ Styles going to have at ringside? Is he there purely to cheer his teammates on, or is he going to be involved in this match at all? We know what Bullet Club are like. You know what? I'm a knob. I've already promised Red Dragon a tag team championship match at the pay-per-view. So Red Dragon will get a tag team championship match against Beer Money at the pay-per-view, and then in probably 2 or 3 weeks' time on our episodes of Global Force Wrestling Amped, then I think we will have that. I can't believe I bugged that one up. Yeah. So yeah, within the first couple of weeks of Global Force Wrestling Amped this month, I think then we'll have the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships versus the Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions to merge those 2 belts. But at the moment, like I said, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are going to get the Tag Team Championship shot on Sunday. I've already promised that to them. Against Beer Money. Big forearm there by Eddie Edwards, and now kick to the face of Machine Gun Karl Anderson. Eddie Edwards now spins Anderson round in that neck breaker. Anderson now launching Eddie Edwards over the top of his head, crashing to the ground below. And now Doc Gallows in the ring, taking Eddie Edwards up. Big fall-away slam. Big clothesline there by Eddie Edwards. Now across the ring to bring in his partner, Davey Richards. Now I know Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards made their return to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla recently. The All-Star Weekend show must have been amazing. They brought back several Ring of Honor guys. They brought back Michael Elgin and Brian Cage back as the American Wolves. The Unbreakable Effing Machines, sorry. They brought back the American Wolves, like I said. It looks like just such a great event. Richards throwing Gallows into the corner. Gallows avoids a couple of big boots to the stomach, and I think the name Doc Gallows is quite clever. This by Doc Gallows, of course. He was Luke Gallows in WWE, and then he was Doc in TNA. So he's basically used both names that he's had in the past to merge it all into one sort of super brand. Big boot to the stomach there by Karl Anderson. Now a snapmare on Davey Richards as well. Twist in the head of Davey Richards there by Karl Anderson. I think we should use Bullet Club a bit more, really. Big blows to the back there by Davey Richards, and Karl Anderson writhing in pain on the floor, and a lion salt there by Davey Richards on Karl Anderson, brings him back up to his feet. And Karl Anderson catches the kick of Davey Richards, and now up into a suplex. In for the pin there by Karl Anderson. Only there for a 1 count though. Karl Anderson just twisting the head of Davey Richards and slamming him down into the mat. Anderson now taking Davey Richards up onto his shoulder. Straight over into that front slam. Big move. Now Richards lining. Oh, Richards was being lined up, sorry, by Machine Gun Karl Anderson. Richards managed to avoid it though. Eddie Edwards with the front chancery now, sending Karl Anderson over the top rope. You see Eddie Edwards taking an opportunity here to regain a little bit of energy while Karl Anderson was down on the outside. Now Eddie Edwards looking to continue the assault. Referee up to a 2 count. Eddie Edwards now with a big boot to the side of the head of Karl Anderson. As I lost my voice there for a second. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. I've recorded quite a few episodes today to try and catch up. Eddie Edwards up onto the shoulders. Spins Karl Anderson round into that package stutter. Pulls Karl Anderson into the middle of the ring, goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Karl Anderson kicks out. Eddie Edwards now just twisting the head of a Machine Gun Karl Anderson. I do apologise if you hear me clicking. I've just one of my videos have just finished uploading, so editing. So I've just put it on to upload. Try and get another one uploaded for you this evening. Eddie Edwards now hooking that leg. There's that fisherman suplex. In for the pin. 1. Only enough for a 2 count. Doc Gallows was in quickly enough to break it all up. We could have had brand new tag team champions there. Don't know how long them tag team champions would have lasted for, of course, because they are going to have to merge in with the Global Force Wrestling tag team champions, whoever that may be, in the next few weeks. Karl Anderson just taunting away here. Maybe needs to pay a little bit more attention to the guy in the ring, Eddie Edwards, who catches Karl Anderson. In for that butterfly, but Karl Anderson does a great job to roll through. Big knee drop there by Karl Anderson on the face of Eddie Edwards. Brings Eddie back up to his feet. Over a big chop, but Eddie blocked it. Eddie Edwards taking Karl Anderson up. Into a gory special. Great move there by Eddie Edwards. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2, and again Doc Gallows was quickly across and broke it up. Davey Richards trying to take Gallows out now. Vertical suplex over the top rope. And this match is starting to get a bit more physical now. Karl Anderson just wrenching back of the leg of Eddie Edwards there. Bringing Eddie back up to his feet. Into that corner. Anderson now taking Eddie Edwards up onto the top rope. Oh, but Eddie with that back elbow creates a bit of space and a big crossbody. 1, 2, and there you go. There's the 3 count. The American Wolves are still your tag team champions here. Great win there for Eddie Edwards. You saw he got put up onto the top rope there by Karl Anderson. The elbow just to create a little bit of space and then caught him with that crossbody. And AJ Styles had absolutely no impact on the outside. A bit of a strange one. Not quite sure. I'll have to check to make sure AJ Styles is playing a heel. I'm sure he is. There was a package stunner there by Eddie Edwards on Karl Anderson. But again, that was not enough as Doc Gallows was quickly... No, that was just a 2 count, that one. This was Eddie Edwards lining. I think Eddie Edwards and Karl Anderson was in the ring for the majority of this match. This is that fisherman's. You see he hooks that outside leg and drops him down. That's just to tighten the muscles up in that side. That makes it a bit more painful when the guy gets dropped. And you see Doc Gallows was quickly across the ring then to break that up after a 2 count. And here you see Karl Anderson takes Eddie Edwards up onto the top turnbuckle. Ooh. Tries to capitalise and Eddie Edwards just elbows him away. And then Eddie with that big crossbody. Referee down. 1, 2, and 3. Not quite sure why Doc Gallows was stood there staring at it, but that's another glitch in this game which we'll try and just ignore for now. But yeah, the American Wolves are still your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, so they will be having a Unification Tag Team Championship match pretty soon against the winner of this Sunday's Tag Team Championship match between Red Dragon and, of course, Beer Money. Maybe we could just save it and have the championship match at our next pay-per-view in Mexico. I think that could be a logical way of doing it, maybe. A great win here for the American Wolves. Still your tag team champions. And our main event here this evening is Roderick Strong taking on Jay Briscoe. And here we go. Roderick Strong and Jay Briscoe, 2 guys that weren't involved in the G1 Climax. That's basically because I didn't see them as very Global Force Wrestling guys at the beginning, but of course as of next week they will be. Both merging in with Global Force Wrestling. Should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that now, and like I said, it's just basically to try and free myself up a little bit of time. As you can probably tell this week, I am running quite a bit behind, so this episode was supposed to be uploaded on Thursday, and I'm now only just recording it on Saturday night. Lets you see just how far I'm behind. So by dropping a couple of rosters, hopefully I should be able to stay on schedule, and then maybe start to record some other stuff for you as well. Jay Briscoe there throwing Roderick Strong over the top rope. Now looking to continue the assault on the outside. It's a pretty good main event, this one, actually. Two guys that probably haven't had as much time in the ring in this Ring of Honor roster as they probably should have done. Jay Briscoe just sending Roderick Strong straight into them ring steps. Both guys slide back into the ring. And that's Roderick Strong in control of the backbreaker. Of course, we know that Roderick Strong is the king of the backbreakers. Now Roderick locking in that cloverleaf submission. Strong bringing Jay Briscoe into the middle of the ring and dropping him face first into the mat. And a big drop kick to the side of the head as well. Roderick now just lining up the grounded Jay Briscoe, looking to continue the assault. Briscoe face first in that turnbuckle now. Boot to the stomach of Jay Briscoe by Roderick Strong, who continues the assault with more boots to the stomach. And a big running drop kick into the grounded corner. Roderick now bringing Jay Briscoe back up, but Jay with that great arm drag over the top. Roderick slides out, slides back in as well. Jay Briscoe, big scoop slam on Roderick Strong and follows it up with a leg drop. Not quite Hulk Hogan. Just a 2 count there from Jay Briscoe on Roderick Strong. Jay Briscoe slamming Roderick Strong head first into the mat. Now brings him back up to his feet and taking him up onto the shoulder. And there's the Death Valley driver. This could be all. Jay Briscoe with the pin. 1, 2. And no, Roderick Strong does kick out. Roderick Strong with the back elbow, getting out of that corner. Great suplex by Jay Briscoe, and you can see the effects of this match now on both of these guys. They're starting to slow down a bit. Jay Briscoe just stomping on the inside of the leg of Roderick Strong. Bringing Roddy back up to his feet. Big boot to the stomach, and now Roderick with an elbow to the face. Roderick with that big gut buster. Roddy could have this. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. No, Jay Briscoe grabs a hold of the bottom rope. Strong can't believe it. Strong now has Jay Briscoe up against that rope. Sends him over the top. What a Strong have planned here. Joins him on the outside. Oh, big spiked DDT on the apron. You see Jay Briscoe now locking in the half Boston Crab on Roderick Strong as well. Roderick managed to fight Jay Briscoe away. Big clubbing blow across the back, and now backbreaker by Roderick Strong, the king of the backbreakers. Roddy slides back into the ring. Referee's up to a 6. Jay Briscoe is back up to his feet and does slide back in. Strong with a snapmare. And now just slowing the pace of the match down with his head scissors. Strong taking Jay Briscoe up again, dropping him into another backbreaker. Against only a 2 count though. Jay Briscoe, big punch to the stomach, back up to his feet. Jay Briscoe now in control. This match is stalking the grounded Roderick Strong. Spins him round. Neck breaker there by Jay Briscoe. Big punches there to the head by Jay Briscoe. I think Roderick Strong's actually been busted open now. Strong with a big discus elbow. It looks like Strong definitely has been busted open. Strong taking Briscoe back up onto his shoulders. There's another big gut buster. Pulling Briscoe away from the ropes. This could be all. 1, 2, and no, Jay Briscoe kicks out once again. Roderick Strong taking Briscoe up, and there's the suplex into the backbreaker. Now that has to be all, surely. 1, 2. Oh my word. How on earth has Jay Briscoe just kicked out again? I cannot even understand how Jay Briscoe has just kicked out again from that. Roderick Strong sending Jay Briscoe now into that corner. Spins him round. Sending Briscoe into the far corner. Went for the big knee in the corner, and Briscoe caught the leg and kicked to the thigh. Another backbreaker there by Roderick Strong. Another pin. 1, 2. And finally enough damage is done to the back of Jay Briscoe to pick Roderick Strong up the victory. And what a match that was. Both these guys really gave each other everything they had in this one. And more, really. Jay Briscoe survived several high impact moves. And I can't believe that Jay Briscoe lasted as long as it did. He's back. Must be in absolute pieces right now. And I wonder if that will give him a status effect. I'll have a quick look after this episode and see if that does give him a status effect. Because I know when the damage goes a bit too far, then people pick up like minor injuries and major injuries, and then of course injuries that will keep you out for a long time. So I'll have to wait and see if that is the case. I don't think it will be, because I think those injuries only really take place inside feuds and things like that, so it probably won't be. But the damage done to the back here of Jay Briscoe, he took a lot of backbreakers in this one, and you see that was finally one too many for him, and Roderick Strong was able to pick up the 3 count. So guys, that is the end of this episode and the end of Ring of Honor. I hope you have all enjoyed it. Of course, if you want to continue watching all these Ring of Honor superstars, then be sure to go across to Global Force Wrestling. They will all be making their appearance there, and that will all kick off as of next week. All the championships are going over. The Top Prospect Tournament will be continuing over there as well. I'm just basically dropping a couple of rosters just to make sure that I can really get as much done on time as I possibly can, and then maybe spin off and do a couple of little bits and bobs as well. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button. It does help me out an incredible amount. And of course, subscribe for a lot more WWE 2K16 footage. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.